All exercise, all movement can be broken down into one of two categories. You're either strengthening muscles or improving mobility. The key to a well-rounded golf swing is being strong in the right places and being mobile in the right places. On this channel, we put a lot of attention into mobility exercises. And so today we're going to focus on the strength side of the coin. We're going to be moving through a muscle strengthening sequence, using and strengthening the muscles that are most integral in our golf swing. The goal for our exercise today is to tap into muscles that you may not be very aware of and how important they are to your golf swing. As always, the invitation is to use this video as a tutorial or as a follow-along exercise to move around with me. And now it's time to find some space so that we can bring some strength into the body, and let's get going. Alrighty, yogis, let's get started by finding a nice spot on the floor. From here, we're gonna come right onto our backside. With your knees bent, lay flat on the floor, and we're gonna start here today with an alternating single leg bridge. So I'm gonna rest the back of my head on the floor, hands on the mat by my sides. I'm gonna take a deep breath, inhale, and lift my hips off the floor. And I'm gently trying to squeeze my legs together, like there's an imaginary block in between my knees. You can take your hands and press them firmly into the floor by your sides. And we're gonna start by lifting the right leg up. Stretch your heel to the bottom of your mat, press and pull your toes towards your shins. The target area here is the left glute, so the glute of the leg that is on the floor. And I'm squeezing actively, holding this pose, and I'm starting to feel the burn. Now I want you to hang out here for 30 seconds. Deep, slow breaths. Keep squeezing that left glute in. Deep breath. And slowly release right foot to the floor and lower your hips as well. Relax. And as always, in between poses, feel the effects that the yoga has on your body. So feel into your left glute. See if it feels any different than the right glute. And as I'm sure you could have guessed, we're gonna switch it to the other side now. I'm gonna take a deep breath, inhale, lift my hips, and this time I'm stretching my left heel to the bottom of the mat, pulling my toes towards my shins, deep breath in and out. Nice and easy breath. Squeeze the right glute, 30 seconds. So much of our power in the golf swing comes from the glute. So by working this pose frequently, you will find the base of your power, the power of your swing increasing. After 30 seconds, slowly release to the floor. Take a rest and take some deep breaths. All right, time to take our next exercise. Make your way into a tabletop position. Coming onto hands and knees, creating a neutral spine. And from here, we're gonna step into a low lunge on the right side. I'm stepping my right foot through my hands to the front of my mat. And you wanna have your whole foot on the floor. See how I line my knee directly up over my right foot. And you might like to space out here a little bit, take your stance a little wider, a little narrower. When you feel nice and grounded and stable here, we're gonna take a deep breath in, lift your chest and reach the crown of your head up. Place your hands behind your head, and we're gonna keep moving with our breath here. With your exhale, twist to the right towards your front leg. And I'm using my core muscles here to create the twist. I'm pressing into my front foot, and I'm using that to leverage the twist. And you can also lead the pose with your eyes. Take your eyes as far over as you can. Continue to breathe deeply, and with your inhale, come back to center. And we're gonna move into some reps here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. We're gonna take 5 reps total. And once you've taken your 5th and final rep, you can slowly release your hands and release the pose. Now as I release here, I'm just gonna come into a child's pose position. I'm taking the weight out of my lower body here. And if you prefer, you might like to come into a seated position. Just a position where you can let your legs relax for a moment. And you might have felt a little action happening in the core here with that last pose. The torque in our golf swing comes from our core muscles. And so taking these twists helps us to strengthen the core, strengthening our twists. Now when you're ready, make your way back up into tabletop. And we are going to reverse the twist, opposite side, this time stepping the left foot forward. I'm inhaling, lifting the chest, lifting the crown of the head, placing my hands behind my head, and I'm gonna twist with my breath. Exhale and twist. Inhale, come back through center. 5 twists total. Keep engaging your core. Deep breaths. And when you are complete, slowly release your hands, release the pose, and come into a resting position. And just hang out here for a few moments. All right, let's get ready for our next pose. I got a little thirsty. No, in all seriousness, I'm bringing in a prop to help me with this pose. You might like to use a block or a stack of books or just something sturdy with a little bit of height. The purpose of the prop is to bring the floor closer to us. So I'm going to place my jug about halfway up my mat, and I'm gonna step forward with my left foot. My left foot is facing 12 o'clock. My right foot is perpendicular with my left foot. So left foot, 12 o'clock, right foot facing 3 o'clock. And if you look at your heels, you can draw a line from heel to heel and see that they will intersect. The pose we're working here is called extended side angle. We're gonna start by driving into the back foot, bringing a bend into the front knee. My knee is about 90 degrees over my foot. Feel it out for your body. You might like to be a little further forward. You might like to shift back just a little bit, but you want to feel an equal distribution of weight in both of your feet. From here, take your arms out long by your sides. We're actually setting up into Warrior 2, but we're gonna take one additional modification here. As you inhale, take your left hand, your front hand, to your block, to your support, whatever is by your side, and I'm going to swing my right hand up to the sky. I'm using my back foot to drive myself forward, and I'm pressing down into my feet so I can open my chest and my hips. Try to open your top hip open to the ceiling. Deep, cool breaths. You also might like to take your left hand to your thigh. And if this pose is absolutely not working for you today, you might like to set up against a wall. So I'm going to use my lovely surfboards behind me here, and I'm going to line my left hip right against the wall here. I'm going to press forward into the pose, opening my front hand to my left leg, opening my chest up, and I'm going to lean my hips back against the wall. Now I cannot fall. I have support, and I'm not going anywhere. If you're new to poses like this, you might like to try this to begin, just to get a feel for how it feels in the body. We're gonna hang out here for 30 seconds to 1 minute, slow breaths, and as you complete, slowly release the pose, and come back to a standing position. All right, shake it out. And notice the muscles that you were activating there. You might feel some after effect in your front thigh. You might feel all sorts of nice things happening around your hips and your glutes. And we also twisted the spine and opened the chest. Lots of nice benefits in that extended side angle pose. Now it's time to balance it out on the other side. So I'm stepping my right foot forward, 12 o'clock, left foot perpendicular, finding my stance. I'm pressing into my back foot to drive into my front knee, opening my chest, front arm is coming to my right leg, left hand is going up to the sky, and I'm using my feet to open my chest, reaching the crown of my head forward, engaging my core, and feeling all the muscles coming together here. 30 seconds to 1 minute. Exhale and release when you are complete. And we're just gonna take a moment to rest, shake it out a little bit, catch your breath, see how you're feeling. And I know today has been a workout on the muscles. But I got one more pose for you. Let's finish strong. We're gonna set up on our feet once more. So coming to stand, place your feet very close together. You can have them touching, but I like to take a little bit more space here. And with your inhale, lift your arms up, reach and be tall. And we're gonna come into chair pose. Quite literally, take your seat. So we're going to slowly bend at the knee, keeping the upper body straight. And as you slowly lower down into your seat, press down into your heels, engage your core. And if you feel like your butt is poking out sort of like that, try to imagine your pelvis is like a bowl of water and you want to tilt it forward. I'm pressing down into my legs. I'm trying to pull the mat apart with my feet. And I'm going to take 5 deep, slow breaths. We are really engaging the thighs here and the glutes. This is where the power is generated in our golf swing. Stay with it till the end of your breath. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward and release the pose. Now this is just a great pose to finish up your exercise with. Really burning out the thighs here. Press down into the earth, deep breaths, and fold forward. Take as many of these chair poses as your body needs, and when you're complete, we'll wrap up. Now I know from the outside, sometimes golf gets the reputation of being a nice, slow, leisurely, relaxing kind of game, but that's just the half of it, right? We want to come into our golf game with strength where it's needed and flexibility where it's needed. Not too much, not too little, just right. Do not forget to combine this strengthening movement exercise with one of our joint mobility exercises. You can build the strength in your body and be limber as well. And as always, I'm Jack. Thank you for moving around with me today. Go be great.